I love all my haters. This isn't just fashion, it's a movement. At Retired Rockstar, we turn hate into fuel, proof you're living loud and staying legendary. Featured here is musician Gino Black, rocking the I Love All My Haters limited drop and the G-Shades collection. Tap in and join the movement at retiredrockstarbrand.com. For a limited time, all trucker hats 25% off, and all OG logo tees are just $19.99. Retired rock star. Live loud. Stay legendary.
We making moves. Yeah, we making moves. Some funny shit. Time has flown, man. But I would tell you, man, what I respect about you the most is, man, when you first reached out to me, and again, shout out to Millie, Queen Mildred Fallen. When you first reached out to me, my job is to check out people from where I'm from, and especially Black men, Black women. And I checked out your music. I didn't think the music was bad. I didn't think the music was not talent. So, even then, before we actually started working together, I reposted your music. I was sharing it with people on my page just because that's just the type of shit that I do. As long as it didn't suck, what I'm saying? Which it didn't. Like, I ain't sharing no bullshit. Yeah. So I shared it, man. But then when you actually did reach out to me, you were about to start some new stuff. Mm-hmm. And one thing I respected about you, man, you were sincere. And looking at this as a business. Right. And you had already set up your own label imprint. You had already set up your own corporation. Everybody's always hollering about, oh, I got an LLC, I got an LLC. Well, don't nobody care if you ain't really doing no business, but you already had your banking set up. You already had everything set up. So it's just when Power Blast comes in to collaborate with you, we're just helping you blow up your own infrastructure that you already had. So I respected that. And I respected your sincerity and your genuineness in discussing the situation, discussing what your goals were, discussing what missteps and mishaps happened in the past. So that helped me and our team formulate a better way to help you so that we can try to avoid the pitfalls and actually get you more awareness out there. But you can probably attest. And again, I appreciate you saying those kind words about me. One thing we try to do at Power Blast, we don't just try to do everything. We try to educate you. Mm-hmm. And hopefully that wisdom, as you just spoke about, continues to be received. Because a lot of stuff that even in our relationship personally, a lot of stuff that I've shared with you and told you, you've received it. Mm-hmm. and you've grown from it. Right. You'd be surprised how many people that I've told the same things and they just still out there fucking up and they ain't getting nowhere. Right. And I don't say that to be egotistical, to act like I'm not all knowing, but the things that I know about, I fucking know about. Mm-hmm. And I've already bumped my head enough and fell over enough and, skinned my knee and all that shit enough to know this ain't a smart move because it didn't work for me. And then you'll have those people that say, well, just because it didn't work for you, it won't work for me. No, when you really understand a thing, it's like chess. You don't play chess to just look at your side of the board. You're looking at both sides of the board. You have to be psychologically thinking from your opponent's standpoint as well. What were their moves and their behavior, what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. And the music business is like that, just like any other enterprise, just like especially entertainment in general. It's about the moves you make, the relationships that you build, and well, that's it really. The relationship that you build and the moves you make. The talent is there by God's given talent. You have that, but a lot of artists think that talent alone is going to get them there. No. There's a lot more than just talent that gets you there. And getting back to what I was saying, that's what I respected about you, because you immediately already had an understanding of that. And when I started sharing more and more details with you, you were already open to understand it. And that's not to say that you need to be told how to do everything. It's just some stuff people need to be made aware of, and then you do your own research. And you're a smart man, so I know you're going to do your own research. Right. But I just want to, tip my hat to you, because at least you're open-minded enough to understand or learn, comprehend, and understand new information. Right. And then you can actually share that with people that come up under you. So you may sign an artist to Grown Up Music, or you just maybe collaborate with different artists that are green in the game. So some of the stuff that you already knew, plus the stuff that you learned from your mentor, Chris, plus the stuff that you learned from me, plus the stuff that you learned from ML, and then other people that we do business with, you can share that and you pass that on. That's what me and another brother were talking about the other day, is that, back to the each one, teach one mentality. And I really appreciate the fact that you are always open-minded. It's not that everything always goes to plan, but you're at least open-minded enough to see how it works. Right. And then we've also been able to pivot. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, let's do this. And most people, they don't do that well, but you have done that well. So I just want to give you a shout out for that. Appreciate it. You understand the business is forever changing and nothing is consistent. You know what I'm saying? The consistent thing is inconsistent.
Right. And I always say the formula that I actually use in regards to that is listen to understand. Some people listen just for the sake of listening and don't take it in.
But yeah, they listen to respond.
Right. Listen.
Yeah.
With me, I take everything in because, like I said, there's a lot of things that I don't know. I mean, there's things that I know that I can share with other people, and there's things that people know that they can share with me. Matter of fact, you share so much with me, I'm like, damn, how much is you gonna send me? But I appreciate it.
I remember that. I remember that when we first started working together. You're like, damn, he's sending me a whole bunch of shit.
To the point like I can't look at all this shit throughout the day.
Yeah, I slowed down. I got better now. I slowed down.
But I appreciate everything because with me, I never put a thirst or how do you put it? Like, I never quenched my thirst for knowledge when it comes to music or life itself. So I'm always looking to absorb whatever it is I can absorb. And with my experience, whether musical or life, I'm a teacher because they can learn from me.
So 100%.
I I don't have the ego where you can't teach me nothing and things like that. But some people out there, that's their mentality, but not me. That's what makes me open-minded, and pretty much a down-to-earth, humble type of person. So
that's it too. You're a humble man. You display humility and it's genuine. But since you brought it up, it's a lot of motherfuckers in Cincinnati that can't get out their own way. Right. They cannot get out their own way. Maybe this is the old school regime, but whoever, if a hit dog will holler if you got a problem with it. But they don't listen. They don't listen to instructions until it's too late. Right. And then they still don't want to listen. Right. And in a lot of cases, they don't want to hear it from you. Right. Because you come from where they come from. So how the fuck do you know?
Right. Good point.
I came from there, but this ain't the only place I've been. Right. I've been around the world back twice. I can tell you all the shit. So I absolutely appreciate the fact that you are your own man and you can think for yourself and you can trust that information that's coming to you. Right. And receive that information and put that information to good use. But I ain't gonna harp on the people that don't do so much. Let's keep it positive. Okay. Well, as much as I can, anyway. You know me with the sarcasm.
I do.
You know me. Because they don't listen. They don't listen. Well, then they come back to me. They come back to me 6 months later, like, man, what you were saying was right. I know it's right. God damn it, that's why I told you it's right.
Even if they doubt, it's like, do your own research.
100%. Yeah.
Like, they don't do any research at all. It's like, they don't take anything for face value. They just say, okay. And then that's it. With me, I say, okay, now let me do additional research to confirm what it is that I've been given.
So that's how you got to do it. That's maturity of a man or any adult, man or woman. Let's not just make it all about us with the brains. Right. But yeah, you have to take in information. And if there's any question of the validity of the information, you just need to do your own research. But people don't want to do no research. They want to ask Google, and now they want to ask ChatGPT, and they take the first answer that comes to the top. They don't really actually deep research. Research to people is Google, and now it's ChatGPT, but that's really not research.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that expect things to be handed to you. I mean, like I said,
yes,
so many years, and I learned patience. A lot of people may not have patience to where if they don't get where they want to be in the music game, they say, you know what? The hell with it. I'm gonna have it as a hobby. I can't do that. I can't do it. I got too much love for it.
Yeah, they do it as a hobby, but I've seen a lot of people recently that have gone back to the hobby mentality, but they still trying to fool everybody else thinking they're trying to do it professional. Because and this is going to be a little bit controversial for some anyway. I don't understand if you're doing this as a hobby and you're really not trying to do it, you're really not trying to do the marketing, you're really not trying to go on the road, you're really not trying to do all the content and all the things and all the press that does it, you just want to make music, then stop putting that shit on streaming platforms because you're
Right. Get
clogging
out the
up
way.
everything.
Get
Get
out
out
the
the
way.
way.
That's right. That's right. I knew
It's
where you
so
were going with that.
yeah, it's so much fucking noise on these
Mhm.
streaming platforms with people that are just playing around that the real musicians' music is getting lost because there's just so much noise. And
Mhm.
then, and what I'm alluding to is you got these guys, especially, in my age bracket, we had our time in the late 90s and the 2000s, et cetera. And a lot of guys are still making music because I don't believe if you got some good stuff, keep making music. Nobody ever complains about the rock stars and the Rolling Stones playing music past the age of 45. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying?
Yep.
Sting and the Police. You got
Mhm.
all these famous and infamous rock stars that are still rock stars past their quote unquote prime. But we have convinced ourselves that hip hop and R&B is just a young game, and it's really not. As long as your music is good and you speaking to your audience and you being yourself. Now, I'm not saying that 45-year-old dude need to jump out with some clothes looking like Lil Yachty like he 12 with
Right.
that bullshit. I ain't suggesting that. I'm just saying be true to yourself. For me, for example, like just like the name of your company, Grown Up Music. I make grown up music. You make
Mhm.
grown up music. I'm a little more active on the mic than you are currently. So my topics and my subjects range on adult related things. I'm not trying to play the same game and compete with the 20
Mhm.
something year old rappers. So it's a little different for me. But what I see though is either they're trying to be trendy. It's less they're just like hip hoppers. They're trying to be trendy and keep up with the young boys, so they look foolish doing that. And then at the same time, if they're good and they're still mature, they want to do the business or they pretend to want to do the business until you tell them that, oh, you got to do this many pieces of content for this. Okay, we got to do this for that, and we got to do this for that. And then by the way, you need to be here, you need to do that. And you put them under some structure. They don't want no structure. Every artist wants a manager to help take them to the next level, or really they want a fucking sponsor, but they don't want to do the work that comes along with it.
Right.
And that's more than just you going to the studio and you going to the show. It's shit. These kids today, they don't even rehearse for shows no more. They just get up there and just bounce around. But that's a whole nother rant. Let's
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
let's straight back.
Okay.
That's a whole nother rant. So we got all like that's why Spotify is trying to play everybody out, for example, with the streaming amounts of money because there's so much damn noise out there on these platforms, and not just Spotify. I'm not singing them out, but they are the worst in terms of what they pay. But if these people that are hobbyists, why don't they just, keep your music on your like you the ones that you should just keep your music on your hard drive and play it for your neighborhood friends.
Right. Because that's what it's going to
Because
be anyway.
because you putting it out to the world and it's available in 150 some countries, but you only got 12 streams because
Mhm.
you didn't promote, you didn't market, you didn't do anything to bring awareness to your song. So, but it's just clogging up data bytes, gigabytes on the platforms, which is why Spotify a year or so ago, Spotify said if your song doesn't reach 1,000 streams per year, you're not getting paid
Mhm.
because there's too much music on there.
Right.
And most of the music now is by people that's just fucking around. They're not the real musicians that have invested years and years and decades and time and resources in the buying equipment. Like you got your whole studio at your place. So you have a whole entire studio. Most of these young kids now, they just got one little laptop and Fruity Loops.
Yeah. Yeah. Matter of fact, back then, when Fruity Loops was introduced, you didn't even have to have a MIDI controller. It was
No,
just
you
a
didn't.
keyboard. I'm like, is that easy? I don't want nothing easy. I want challenge. That's
Well,
what
that's the
is.
thing, and
Yeah.
that's what like all this new technology makes it easy for somebody who's either mediocre or complete garbage to still put their music on the same platforms with us. That's the one thing I don't like about streaming is because it's accessible for everybody. Now, I don't mind it being accessible for the real creatives, the real talent, the real true ass motherfucking talent. Do what you do, and some records work, some records don't. But if you're just playing around and you just making it just because all of a sudden now you just want to be a rapper. I've been rapping for 6 months. I'm God forbid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just keep that to yourself.
Right.
You're taking up space, you're clogging up the algorithm for all the good shit to get through. It's a lot of good talent out there. And I'm not just even talking about people that we know. It's just so much good music out there. And it's hard to find good music because there's so much trash out there
Right.
on these streaming platforms. Because I'm a like people, we used to go to the record stores, CD stores, we digging through the crates, especially the record stores. Shout out to Everybody's Records. And then even going back further than that, Kip's record store up in College Hill in Cincinnati. Shout out way back. That's probably before your time.
Definitely my time, yeah.
But it was a nice shop up there, similar to Everybody's. But
we talked about this the other day, remember? Because what it really is the fun ain't in the music no more.
Right.
Get paid, so they figure go ahead and just throw a whole bunch of songs up there and hope I get 1 million streams.
Right.
And when 1 million streams, I don't even think it's gonna pay your rent.
No. No.
But back then, even though we're not too far apart in age and whatnot, we had fun, like I said, digging in the crates, going to Sam Goody, Media Play, buying CDs, buying cassette, and we also talked about this too on the phone, where if it was care with the music, like we had a collection of CDs.
Yeah,
we don't have that no more. Now it's, well, I'm gonna just stream this new song that came out at 12 a.m. We had to wait until 9, 10 o'clock in the morning when the record store opened.
So, and drive there or catch the bus there or ride your bike there. Yeah.
Right. So that fun part of music is taken away. So nobody really understands how important it was.
And it devalued music. Yeah, we were also talking about that. It devalues it because, yes, for me, I want you to get my record at midnight at 12:01. But that takes away, like you said, it was almost like a scavenger hunt. You're trying to go get the new record, and then you want to get it before everybody else get it, before it's sold out. It used to be a record store downtown Cincinnati when I was a kid, Globe Records.
I think I heard.
I used to have to catch a bus down there and try to grab all my 12-inch vinyl and shit like that. I mean, it was an experience, and that experience is not there no more. Everything's instant gratification. Which is also why, like, some of the best albums that are coming out now, some of the greatest records that are coming out right now from indie artists aren't being heard because there's so much other noise out there with the, I'm not going to put anybody down, but just music that should just be like, you could have kept that to yourself, dog.
Right. Yeah.
Versus some real good. You could have kept that to yourself, dog. And of course, everything is based on taste, but let's be honest, a hit is a hit and garbage is garbage.
Yeah. But
but something what you might like, I might not like. So taste is in there, but I think we can all agree that there's a difference between, well, that's just not my taste versus that's complete fucking garbage. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of fucking garbage is out there.
And it's unfortunate it's all sounded the same.
That's the thing. It's a cookie cutter thing. It sounds the same. And a lot of times, especially with rap shit, especially the trap shit, it's not even mixed properly.
Yep. Correct.
There's no quality in the final output of the product.
Very true.
And then as far as hip hop, the cadences are the same. The cadence in the raps are the same. The patterns in the beats are the same. But people want the same. I just don't believe in being in the same, because how can you grow? How can you make yourself an artist with some lasting legacy if you're just jumping on the flavor of the moment right now because that's hot, and you don't know how to reinvent yourself and you don't know how to evolve? For example, you were talking earlier where you originally start off and you were writing rhymes. Then you got into the music production part of it. But now you're about to drop an EP project, which you're doing rhymes again. And then last year you let the cat out the bag that was actually you rapping on Let 'Em Know with me and not the mystery main topic. So, right. But now you
need to check that out too. They need to check that out.
Yeah, check out Let 'Em Know. It's on all streaming platforms by Gino Black featuring Main Topic, or Gino Black and Main Topic. And that was produced by myself and Ari Martin. But where was I going with that?
We were talking about as far as cookie cutter music.
Oh, cookie cutter music, yeah. So I was mentoring to some younger producers a while back, and I'm like, you shouldn't want to be the new version of this person. You should try to define your own sound. It's okay to be inspired. It's okay to be inspired by another artist, or even as a producer, another producer. But when people hear your shit, it's a difference between hearing some inspiration versus hearing you just trying to do the same shit. Right. And they trying to do the same shit. It's like, I can't even identify the voices a lot anymore, because and this is not old people hating on young people. This is just the facts. Like we had distinct voices in hip hop coming up, all the way back to the 80s up through the 2000s. We had distinctive voices from Chuck D to Young Jeezy to, Jay-Z's. Like those voices are all distinct. We can all tell the difference between all of our superstars for the last 30 years. But within the last 10 years, you only have a few voices that stand out. There's a lot of stuff you can play. I can play your song, and you know this, and especially when it comes to the new version, the mumble stuff, you don't know who the artist is because it all sounds the same. You have to like Shazam it or it's like, who is this? Because you can't, even after a certain point, you couldn't even identify Future because everybody was trying to sound like Future. So you're here record and you think it was Future. And then like all of the little I want to say mumble rap shit because everybody been talking about that done and dead, and I don't want to perpetuate that. But because if that's what you are, then create that, young people. If that's what you do it. But do it all the way. Be serious and try to grow your art form. Don't just stick to that and try to be the flavor of the month and think it's a get rich quick scheme. The rap business is not a get rich quick scheme. It is not. I don't give a fuck what you saw on Making a Band. I don't give a fuck what they lied to you, told you in your ear. It is not a get rich quick scheme. It's a lot of fucking work. I've been at this for decades, and and that's just making a living. That's not getting rich. That's just making a living. And I'm fine with that because I just want to make a living anyway. Of course I want to get rich, but that's the last thing I'm thinking about. I'm just thinking about making a living doing what I love to do. And that's, producing records, that's being an artist, that's managing talent, that's running the label, that's doing marketing. I just love to do it. So that's what I do. As long as I can pay my bills, I'm good. But if y'all want to throw something in my Cash App, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? At Gino Black Official.
Plug mine.
Go plug it. You unplug it, throw a little something in the pot. We gotta finance this entertainment we providing for y'all.
Right. That's right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Support y'all, but making sure I produce great music. So
yeah, definitely, man. So when you are let me just talk about now. Let's go from the past to the present. Now, where you at? What's your primary goals for the remainder of 2025? As Ari Martin, super producer international. What's your goals for the next, what we got, 5 months left?
That 5 months? Yeah, man. Quick.
It's going fast, ain't it?
Yeah. The goals is to complete the EP of the King Effect. I'm not sure if I'm gonna release it this year. I'm looking to have another contest.
All right, hold that thought. I gotta do a plug real quick. Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of Music Therapy and Motivation with Gino Black is brought to you by Retired Rockstar. Retired Rockstar is a apparel line, fashion, trendy brand for men over the age of 45 that still got their rockstar status. Retired Rockstar. RetiredRockstarBrand.com. Live loud, stay legendary. Back to the show. Mr. Ari Martin. Okay, back to what you was about to start. Start that story over.
Okay. I got a lot of things lined up. A couple projects I'm working on with Kimmy Sulola, looking to wrap that up this year.
That's the young lady in the UK, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So looking to have that released this year. Also finishing up the EP, the Kindling Effect. Then we're also having some things done with the merch. So not only can you get merch in this color, we're looking at some other colors too, to have available live. Then also it's his brother, I forgot to mention, by the name of Uno the Prophet. He's in Beantown, Boston, for those who don't know, Boston, Massachusetts.
Shout out to Uno.
Actually, I reached out to him through Facebook because it's this legendary rapper on the West Coast by the name of Paris. I'm pretty sure you know about him. Gorilla Funk.
I love Paris, man.
Yes, sir.
Paris is one of my inspirations on production.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's tight with it.
Yeah.
He did a couple of compilations and different artists on it. It's called Hard Truth Soldiers.
Yeah.
Uno was on volume 1 and 2. And I was like, who is this brother? So, I'm the type of person, I'm all for trying to reach out to people. And I hit him on Facebook. He hit me back. We exchanged information. I sent him some tracks. He actually sent me one back. I can't release that yet because that's not finished.
Okay.
But we actually in the talks of doing an EP together. So hopefully when he get whatever he needs to business wise to get all that tied up, then we can focus on that. Portion can be releasing some more singles this year. Matter of fact, the single that's streaming right now, which is called International, me and Gino's looking to do a contest for those who want to add vocals to it. This is the first time I'm ever doing this, and we're looking to launch that sometime next month.
In the next month. So it's the 18th. So in the next 2 weeks.
Next 2 weeks, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much what I got lined up. Oh, my oldest daughter, now she can actually sing, but I don't think that she wants that to be a career like my other two youngest ones. And then also my oldest son, he plays the or starting to play the ukulele out of all.
Okay.
I've never heard of anybody playing the ukulele. I mean, even though it's in the guitar family, string family,
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure he'd be successful. And then my youngest daughter, she wants to sing, so I'll be assisting her with that.
Okay.
But the reason why I brought them up is because everybody's musically inclined, and I'm so grateful for that because hey, once I retire, they can take over.
Mm-hmm.
But my oldest daughter, I'm looking to work with her in designing t-shirts. She's really, really, really good.
Yeah, I saw some of her sketches. She's dope.
So I'm gonna be working on that with her this year. And then I mean I don't know what else, because I'm always thinking of different ways to reinvent and keep the momentum going. But
Mm-hmm.
I do want to plug the website once again. arimartinmusic.com and also YouTube for Ari Martin INT for international. Is that right? INT
That's
or
it. Yeah.
okay. Sometimes I don't even know what the hell my website is, but I want to make a shout out or give a shout out to Greg Wilburn. He was the last person of many people who actually purchased the merch, and we actually worked together.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I worked at an oxygen company, and I was the deliverer of the oxygen tanks, and he was the respiratory therapist. So we kept in contact.
Okay.
And he always been supportive to me. He's like, you know what? You gotta do what is that called? Afro beats. And I was like, maybe I'll do that. So, he been supportive with me as far as everything, family, music,
Mm-hmm.
giving me inspiration and different ideas. And I recently had two promotions on my merch for Father's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And this past was it Memorial Day? Not Memorial Day.
4th of July.
4th of
I think
July.
it was. Yeah.
And I was like, I could supply you with the promo code. He said, no, don't worry about it. I'll just pay for it. I said, okay then.
Paid full price, even though it was a
Full
promo going
price.
on.
I was like, okay then. So I want to make sure, I'll do something for him. I don't know what it is I'm gonna do, but I want to give him a shout out because the saying is that strangers will support you a lot faster than people you may know.
I
Now,
say it all the time. Strangers will make you rich.
yeah. Now, not to say that the people that haven't supported me wasn't close friends, associates, whatnot. However, that really stood out because it's like it hit me right here. I'm like, man, that's what's up.
I feel good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to
Because a lot of times, if even if people support you with buying product or merch, they always want a discount, unfortunately.
yeah.
But that's us. Like one of my boys would be like, no, that's us.
Yeah.
That ain't everybody. That's us. And so guy paid full price, even though there was a 20% promo off. That's dope, man.
Right.
And that got to make you feel good. That shows that somebody's investing in you. And he wasn't 100% stranger, but he wasn't somebody you knew for a long, long, long time.
Right.
It was just based on a work association, and he still came out with the full support. That's dope, man, because that don't happen. Don't nobody buy my shit that I know.
Yeah, nobody.
Every time, look,
success from somewhere.
Strangers, dog. Strangers.
Strangers.
Every t-shirt I sell, every hoodie I sell, every CD I sell is to a stranger. Don't nobody I know. Shout out to the strangers. Don't none of my social media friends be buying my shirts and buying my CDs.
We're gonna change that.
It don't matter, man. Them strangers coming through. I love them for it. I'm not even gonna complain about it. Strangers will make you rich, bro.
Right.
So shout out to all the faceless people. You're not faceless to me, but the faceless people that keep on ordering and buying my shit, and all the people that tune into this podcast, whether it's on the streaming platforms, whether it's on YouTube. It's a lot of strangers. You know, I can count on one hand the people that I actually know that rock with me, that I see them consistently consuming my product, and that's okay. It used to bother me, but it's cool now. It's okay.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you can't depend on your local community to uh, put food on your table 24/7 and this be a full-time job just depending upon your circle of friends. It's not going to happen. That's unrealistic. That's why I understand why people just be so focused on acting like they're a local business.
Right.
You know, hence the name Power Blast Worldwide. We was always reaching for beyond the city limits and beyond the state limits, because strangers will make you rich.
Yeah, matter of fact, a lot of streams come from overseas.
Most of our streams come from overseas.
And I've never experienced it. I'm like, Bulgaria, where the hell is that at? You know, so
Mhm.
I mean, that was one of the places. I mean, Argentina, Mexico. I mean, I can't name them all. Of course, the UK.
Well, yeah, that like you already had your affiliation with the young lady in UK, but
Mhm.
also like over the years, over the past 30 years that Power Blast has been doing business, me and ML have been doing business, we've had those relationships with overseas counterparts for all this time.
Okay.
And then those are just relationships that we built up with local promoters, local DJs, local writers, or just kind of tastemakers in general, people that just know what's going on in the city. And we've been able to, even from when we were selling CDs back in the day, we would be shipping those CDs overseas so that people could put them in their stores and the local community can find out what it's about. And we made contact with a lot of locals in different territories, especially the UK, especially in the Netherlands. I even got some contacts in Japan, where whenever we put out music, we try to get them to work the record locally, but more so in an influencer capacity, like making sure that if they go to the record store, they know that somebody knows about it. And then since everything is streaming, we're not really shipping CDs anymore. It's just to create the awareness. So they can tell all their friends there and tell all the people there that, hey, check this record out. Just like, for example, when I put out what was it? Keep It Moving. I'm tripping. It's like one of my biggest records. When I put out Keep It Moving, the guitarist I got playing on there, he's from Italy.
Mhm.
So just the fact that he was on there, and then when we put it out, he's tagged in the post. So he's got a name for himself in his town, but he plays with a lot of bands and stuff. So he was talking about the record too and the project. So all of a sudden, I mean, he just got hella streams from Italy, all parts, Northern Italy and Southern Italy, just because of his location and his contacts there. I have another contact that I started using recently in Australia, New Zealand. So we got a good run in those territories, Australia, New Zealand. That's just based on relationships and getting the music in front of people and talking to people. It's a lot of this stuff. Like it's like I think I told you this before. Like a lot of times when we're releasing these records that do really really well, sometimes I'm up all night just talking to people, just like this on a Zoom call or on the phone, just trying to make sure because I'm working on their time frame.
Right.
Because they're not, at 3 o'clock in the morning for us is 3 o'clock in the afternoon in some territories. You know what I mean? You're talking about a 5 to 10 hour difference. And I'll stay up and do that extra work and send those emails and reply to those DMs and make those phone calls if they want a phone call in the middle of the night while everybody else is asleep.
Right.
And I think that's what made Power Blast more successful than a lot of other small companies coming out of Cincinnati, because we were doing the work that nobody else was doing. Whether it was, back in the day, we were sending faxes, press release to everybody. ML at the time, when we first started, he was in the military. So every Navy base that he was on, we had our CDs and tapes stocked in those Navy bases. Yeah. So we was just doing stuff just completely unorthodox that nobody understood. And those relationships lasted all this time. A good portion of them lasted all this time. And then some of them I had to reach back out to when I started doing Power Blast releases real heavy again. But all of that just speaks to what I'm saying about as far as strangers. Right. But strangers can become friends as well. Right. I mean, there was a time where we were on the road and, we had played a few cities to the point where we made friends in that city. So, and a lot of bands could attest to this. Sometimes you be on the road and you just crash at a fan's house. Like, they be like, we got to go. Say, for example, we in Cleveland, but we got to go to another town. Somebody in Cleveland put us up for the night. Like y'all gotta, we ain't trying to get no luxury accommodations, but we got a couch, we got a guest room, or even us piled up on the floor. Those people become people that help move the needle because they got to see their favorite group playing or band playing or artist doing it, whatever the fuck the artist does. Then they was kind enough to let that artist and his crew sleep over, good hospitality. That person, you keep in contact with that person will always promote your music in their town. We've had those type of relationships where just because we had one interaction that was so positive, every time we put something out, those people will be your spokesman in their little town. Like, so like, I'm not talking about specifically, like you mentioned, Bulgaria. Don't have anybody specifically in Bulgaria, but we got people in that territory and the word spreads, kind of like when hip hop was regional in the United States, where you had your Midwest, you had your Southern, you had your West Coast, and everybody had their own little sound when it was regional. Now everything sounds the same, as you said earlier. But there was a time where everything was regional. So you could just work different regions. And that's what we do with our overseas markets. We just try to make contacts in those different markets and then just touch in with each of them and give them the information that they can spread in their communities.
Right. So all it takes is a conversation.
That is all it takes. It's a conversation and it cultivate their relationship. And don't do no shady shit. Don't burn people. Right. Keep your promises and shit.
Right. Yeah. Don't burn them bridges. Yeah, that's definitely important. So, free conversations, that turn into dollars. So that's one thing I understood. That's why I'm always willing to, build relationships with people, even if it's just a conversation. There's been times where I had conversations with people that were singers and rappers, and I still maybe have contact with them, but nothing came from it.
Right.
But the value of having that conversation is just so vast. So
Yep. All right. So I think I covered my topics. What else you got? Anything that we didn't touch on that you want to touch on?
Let me think. Oh, yeah. When you come to the studio, whenever you in town, got something for you. Y'all may see.
He brought out the studio snacks.
This is my studio snack. Matter of fact, I need to do some episodes of the studio snack, but I got this for you because I know that this is your favorite snack. It's healthy. I have healthy snacks, so whoever come through studio, have a session or whatnot. I got some Sun Chips. I got some Ice Mountain. I got some you can't have these mangoes.
I'm stealing them. Stealing them.
I want to make sure that I let you know I got that for you. I ain't gonna let DJ touch it. No, he came down.
Appreciate it.
He's like, Daddy, can I have a popcorn? I said, nah, it's for Gino.
I always love the hospitality. You keep telling him that though, he ain't gonna like me no more. Like he keep
but hey, you better hurry up before they get stale. That's
eating that white cheddar. He trying to steal my white cheddar. Hell no.
That's all I got, man.
Okay, man. You stated your piece. You let everybody know that they needed to know, good and bad.
Yes, sir.
Because now's the chance to talk your shit if you got any shit to talk. Or did you already talk it already?
I think I already talked.
All right, cool, man. All right, man. So everybody who's listening, I want y'all to check out arimartinmusic.com. His YouTube channel is Ari Martin Music. And you know what I think is? Hold on, I'll pull it up real quick, yo. Okay. I can get it exactly. We're not gonna lie to the people.
Oh, while you're doing that, I want to give a shout out to Don Vega, who's talking about guitarist. This brother, talented brother that I had the pleasure of working with. He in Youngstown, and I had the song called Round One. It was actually released. Was it May this year?
Round One was May. I think the beginning of May. Yeah. Shout out to Don Vega. Yeah. So the
talented brother, talented.
Yeah, he's shredding that guitar on there. The YouTube channel, all you got to do is search for Ari Martin Music, but the exact handle is at Ari Martin Music, INTL. INTL for international, but just search Ari Martin Music on there and it'll pull up his page. It's got his grown up music logo, just like on his hoodie right there. So you know that's the right one, the icon. And then tell them about some of the stuff that's on your YouTube channel. What can they expect?
Well, like I said, they're gonna see the contest when we finish with that called Who Flipped It Better. They're gonna see some studio shots where we're doing some scenes, me working on music, making music.
Behind the scenes, okay.
Yeah, behind the scenes, and also studio snacks. They can possibly hear, some of the snippets. I may do it. I'm not sure of the songs I'm gonna be putting out on the EP. I might do that, but
Okay.
also they can sign up to the YouTube. So therefore, any promotions or anything I got going on, they'll be the first to know.
Subscribe, y'all.
Yep.
Subscribe to Ari Martin's YouTube channel. Go to his website, arimartinmusic.com. Sign up for his mailing list. You get some free treats and some exclusives on both of those situations. And then what's your Insta that they can find you on Instagram?
Mr. Ari Martin.
Mr. Ari Martin on Instagram. Yo, it's been an absolute pleasure. Any parting words for anyone?
Well, I want to tell you, thank you for having me. It took you forever. It took you forever. I'm up here looking like, oh, okay, he got how many episodes, how many seasons? Where am I at? But
hell no.
Patience is a virtue. I definitely want to say thank you for taking the time to speak with me today, making the time, scheduling and whatnot. I definitely appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the show. And just for the record, you, Mr. International, you was too busy for me. I've been trying to get this man on the podcast for months. He too busy for me. He jet setting up to the East Coast, Philly, Virginia, Boston. I can't keep up with this guy. Man, but we finally got it together. Ain't no blame game, y'all. This been Music Therapy and Motivation. I'm your host, Gino Black, and my guest today was Ari Martin. arimartinmusic.com. Check it out, y'all. Peace. Yo, if you enjoyed this episode, you got to check out this next video. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. You'll be the first to get all the new content, all the new motivational content, all the new music, and all the behind-the-scenes footage. You'll be the first to know what's going on. This is Music Therapy and Motivation. I'm your host, Gino Black. I want you to get activated, and I hope you stay motivated. Peace.